do a quick kind of stat summary video. This is coming out the same day as my mid-year freakout tag, so we'll see how this goes. That's a lot of filming. And I am going to go to my Goodreads account. I'm going to do a year in reading, or my year in books. I know it's not the whole year has gone by, but it gives me some information that I'm too lazy to calculate on my own. So far I have read 83 books this year. I actually think it's a few more than that. I can't remember if I've put all of my books from my spreadsheet onto my Goodreads account. And with those 83 books that I've read about 28,000 pages. I am on track to finish my goal of 150 books this year. I might be able to sneak a few more in depending on how long some of my audiobooks are. Like, I'm currently trying to chug through The Way of Kings for my first read through. I have an audiobook from my library, and it is 45 hours long, so I have a lot of reading ahead of me. My average book length so far this year is 340 pages. The most popular book I've read this year is The Book Thief, with over 3 million, almost 4 million reads on Goodreads, and my least popular is How to Sleep by Rafael Palaio, which has only 460. My average rating so far is 3.7. I think my rating on my spreadsheet is very similar. And the first book I reviewed this year was The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. Now that's it for my Goodreads. I will move on to, I'm gonna pull up my spreadsheet that I have going with all my reading on it. And I'm gonna be reading off some graphs that I'll put up on screen. So I've read a number of books this year. With the 6 months I've read, you can kind of see on the chart that's gonna go up here. I've slowly been reading kind of less every month. Through May and June, I had a little bit of a reading slump, but also my husband and I were shopping for a house, doing all the paperwork for the mortgage and title transfers and stuff. And then this is about a week after we moved, so when I'm filming this, so by the time this comes out, all of June will have gone by, and yeah, June might have a few more books, but May and June have been rough months for me. Next, I'll kind of go into the breakdown of my genres. Shockingly, nonfiction is the most read so far this year, followed up by a tie between science fiction and fantasy. And then I've kind of got a smattering of everything else. Nothing else is really, other than mystery thrillers, nothing else is over 10% of my reads. And now I'm gonna move over to the other part of my sheet. And according to this, my average rating here is 3.6 instead of 3.7, and that just has to do with Goodreads doesn't calculate half stars, and I do calculate half stars on my spreadsheet. This is just gonna break my books down a little bit more. I'll go into my ratings. I have 5 groups, 1 to 1.5, or 0 to 1.5, 2 to 2.5, 3 to 3.5, 4 to 4.5, and 5-star reads. And as you can see, the bulk of my books have been into the 3.5. But thankfully, I've also had a lot of 4-star reads, and I even would say I've probably had more 5-star reads this year so far than I did this time last year. And then I've got a handful of books, 11% of my reads, that are 2 to 2.5 stars. And that works out to 11 books in that 2 to 2.5, 40 books 3 to 3.5, 37 books in my 4 to 4.5, and 9 reads in my 5-star categories. Then I'll move on to my sources. I have a variety of sources listed on my spreadsheet. 2 aren't going to show up here. That's books I've borrowed from family or friends, and ARCs. I only have 1 ARC, and it's from a book that came out last year. Bad on me for not finishing it. And just with COVID and my workload at work being up more, my friend at work and I haven't been trading books recently, and then I haven't really been able to get any books for my family to borrow. And then the two sources of books that you do have are books from the library, which make up the bulk by far of my books. A large part of this is because I read a lot of audiobooks, and I use the Libby app for that. It's just really easy. But I've also been doing a lot of library books physically. My library had curbside pickup throughout the pandemic, so I was able to put a book on hold and then go pick it up, which was super convenient, and it saved me a lot of money, especially as we were getting ready to save for a house and then move. And then finally, we have the breakdown of the formats I read in. I absolutely hate reading ebooks. I used to, I have a Kobo, and I don't mind reading on that, but first of all, I misplaced it. Second of all, I have a really hard time paying for a book, like an electronic book, that's basically as much as a physical book. And so to solve that, I just get my audiobooks from the library, and I read physical books more regularly. And this year there's been a really big push. I've read I've read 6% more audiobooks than physical books. I'm pretty happy to see this, just because it means I'm not spending a lot of money on my book collection, even though I love buying books. And it also means I'm supporting my local library, which I'm really happy about. And just, again, just the whole not buying physical books or ebooks or the audiobooks, so I'm saving a lot of money for myself that way, which is super awesome. And that's all I really have for you guys today for kind of just my quick stats and some stats here for my first half of the year. This is kind of, as I mentioned, this is also coming out the same day as my mid-year book freakout tag. This is coming out second, so if you are watching this and haven't seen the mid-year book freakout, I'll include a link below. So please watch it. I had a lot of fun filming it. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.